So welcome to my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome to Cooking Today. Glad you're here. We are making today a couple of my very favorite morning breakfast foods. I have got, oh, this is gonna make me sad. I have one kiddo left at home. If you follow me on Instagram or we're friends on Facebook, then you probably know that I took my my second one to college last month. And boy, that is a transition, isn't it? So if you've got kids, you probably remember that day. Oh my goodness, crazy. But I have one left at home, my sweet baby Isaac, and he and I love our mornings together. He's the boy who gets up early in my house, spends, I don't know, an hour and a half in the morning before school, kind of taking it slow. He checks his phone and drinks a coffee, and he and I are big Today Show watchers, so we turn on the television and watch just kind of have a nice slow morning together. It's really nice. And he is a breakfast eater. My other two, they always were kind of a grab a bar and run out the door kind of kids. And this guy, he and I really love breakfast. So I really make something for him most mornings. And it's really a treat. And of course, you know, I'm going to get all sappy, but I just have to savor it because I just am down to my last one. So I thought I would show y'all a couple of our favorite breakfast things that we make in the mornings. And not only that, but we're going to make these apple, cinnamon, walnut muffins that weigh a ton because they're just loaded. I mean loaded with apples and coconut. Don't tell everybody. You're never going to even know that it's in there because I know a lot of y'all don't like coconut. But don't leave it out. Put it in. It's delicious. All it does is add a lot of natural sweetness and it makes them really, really moist. Coconut. It's got some walnuts. And like I said, tons of apples. And then we do this delicious little crumb on the top of just oats. So it's all very, very healthy, very whole, and delicious. And so those are really, really good. And then we love to make fancy toast. You know, toast has come a long way since I was going to school. And we would just, you know, stick it in the toaster and put a little butter on it, and that was, you know, kind of call it a day, or maybe jelly. But, you know, now it's gotten so fancy. There's all these great things you can put on it. Isaac and I love avocado toast with like a sunny side up egg. And then, oh, another really fun one that's sweet. I'm not going to tell you what that one is yet. It's really fun. We're going to do it in a little bit. But I just thought I would share with y'all some morning breakfast ideas for your family. Starting with these muffins. They are so delicious. I have made these in the last week or so and just sharing them with the masses. They're really, really good. Let me tell you what we've got going here on these good apple, cinnamon, walnut muffins. I have two varieties of apples in here. One is a Pink Lady, which is a little bit sweeter, and one is a Granny Smith. That are the bright green ones, these guys. But they are tart. I love a mix of the apples in it, so that every bite isn't exactly the same. You get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Really, really good. So we're supposed to have about 2 cups. I believe I might be just a little over, but that's okay. Generally speaking, an apple is about a cup. So if you need 2 cups, you probably need 2 apples or so. And I have finely chopped those. You want them to be pretty small because we want them to get soft. We don't want any big hunks of it. We just want like nice little bites, nice and evenly spread in our muffins. Now, let's mix our dry ingredients. Starting with 2 cups of sugar. Oh, and we have our oven preheated to 350. And these only bake for about 25 minutes. Okay, so there is our sugar, 2 cups. And then we have 3 cups of flour. Now, I am a white flour girl, but you could definitely mix this if you wanted to do part white flour and mix in a little bit of whole wheat flour, you could do it. It'll change the texture, but you could play with that or do whatever else it is that whatever kind of flours that you like. There are so many kinds these days that do all kinds of different things. Okay, so here are my 3 cups. Kind of made a mess there. I wasn't paying very good attention. Okay, flour and sugar, like all good baking. Then we're going to add our leavener, which is a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, a teaspoon of salt. And y'all wait till you get that salty bite in these. It's so good. And then a teaspoon of cinnamon. We're gonna mix these dry ingredients together. When we get back, we're gonna mix together our wet, put them all together and fill our muffin cup to make these amazing, healthy breakfast muffins. Come back and see us. This is Cooking Today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company.
Hi, welcome back to Cooking Today. We are making some of my very favorite morning breakfast meals that I share with my kids. What I have going are these delicious apple cinnamon walnut muffins. They are so good, y'all. Oh my word, so delicious. So all I've gotten here are my dry ingredients mixed together. And I just used a whisk to just kind of stir them up. And now we're gonna trade out and I'm gonna do my wet ingredients. And all I have are 3 large eggs and some oil. And then of course vanilla, good vanilla. And this is just about a teaspoon or so. I always do a little extra for good measure. Like one, you know, like a spilling teaspoon. That's not a real measurement. That's just the way I like to do it. And then I'm just gonna give this a little whisk to break up those eggs. So we're kind of incorporating our dry. We've incorporated our eggs and oil and vanilla, just so we get it really mixed well. And then we are going to mix our dry and our wet. Okay, so got my big bowl. I'm going to pour in my liquids. Now, this is super important. This batter is thick and it is heavy. And these muffins are heavy and, like I said, loaded with apples and coconut and walnuts and all this good stuff. Do not use your favorite thin wooden spoon right here. It will snap in half. And I know that from experience because that happened to me. It's like stirring concrete after it's starting to dry, I guess. But it is thick. So I use my good, heavy, long-handled spoon, you know, from Unimaze, of course, and give this a really good mix. And you really want to get down in there. This is one that works your muscles, like your triceps. Is that what this is? I used to know those things back when I had muscles. That was before I learned how to make biscuits and muffins. I used to have muscles. Anyway, so I'm getting in here and giving this a really good, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, I'll show it to you. It is not a batter like a cake batter. You know, cake batter is like pourable. This is hearty. So look at this. I mean, it has taken everything I've got to give that a little toss. It is so good. Now, it's only gonna get thicker. Ready? We're gonna add in 2 cups of our apples. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm just gonna go for it. 2 cups of our apples, a cup of coconut. And like I said, this coconut, y'all, it really just gets in that batter and it softens and you just don't even know that it's in there. These don't taste like coconut anywhere. And the reason I'm making sure that y'all know that is because I know that there are, you know, oh, look at that. And there's coconut. I mean, I hate to lose coconut, but I won't scoop it up. We've got enough to go around. I'm doing it again. I'm telling you, it's this batter. It's so heavy. I am telling you about this coconut, not to fret over it. because I know that coconut kind of like, divides the nations. Some people love it, some people hate it, and there's like a big, thing on it. You will not taste it. These don't taste like coconut at all, but there is a sweetness that is just undeniable in these that are so good because the apples are tart. Y'all, I may break a sweat getting this mixed. Anyway, don't skip the coconut. You are going to love these. I promise. Whew. We may need to take a little water break. And then, to make it even more delicious and healthy, we're going to add in some walnuts. If you prefer pecans, then do pecans. Here we go again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. So what I'm doing to get this incorporated is almost folding. Remember we've taught you about folding before? Is where you kind of go in and under and fold it over, fold it over, fold it over. I mean, y'all, thick, 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 thick. And it smells fantastic already. It's sweet and it's a little tart. That bite of salt is fantastic in here. And that little bit of nuttiness. Good for you, good for you, good for you. I'm gonna call it a day on that. I think we're good. Plenty, plenty mixed. Now, I have got my muffin tin lined with muffin cups. Now, generally, I have always told y'all that I usually spray my cups, because we don't want them to stick. These have enough oil in them and enough moisture in them. I have never had them stick. They have just come out piece of cake. So I am not spraying my muffin cups. Look how, do you see how thick and kind of chunky that is? Oh, delish, delish, delish. So I'm filling my little scoop here and filling my muffin cups. And then right on top of each and every one of them, I'll just do one real quick. Right on top of each and every one of them, we're gonna do a really good dose, sprinkle of oats. Real honest to goodness oats right on top. Aren't those good? And I'll just tell you, because I love dessert. Scoop a little ice cream on those after dinner. They are dessert. Delicious. Okay, I'm gonna finish these. We're gonna stick them in the oven. When we come back, we're gonna make fancy toast. This is Cooking Today.
Iced tea, sponsored by Lipton.
What I love most about the farmers market is the music, the art, the food, the people themselves. That's local, that's Fayetteville.
Local means homegrown.
My kids can run around, they can choose what she wants to get and eat.
I like growing and selling directly to the public.
And the market is kind of what community ought to be.
Visit us Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on the square.
The Fayetteville Farmers Market.
100% local
And loved.
Hi, welcome back. Glad you're with me today. We are making breakfast favorites around here. We've already made these amazingly beautiful breakfast muffins that are loaded with apples and cinnamon and coconut and walnuts and topped with oats. And we've had those baking in the oven, and you should smell this house. It is so good. Oh my word. They are delicious. And then the other favorite thing that we really love to have that's so quick and easy is, I call it fancy toast, because I think if you think toast for breakfast, you're thinking toast and butter. That is so yesterday. We are talking about modern day fancy toast. I'll show you two of our very, very favorites, starting with one that is so simple. All I have is my good toasted, I get like a good oatmeal bread, like a good, just like in the shelves, not even bakery, oatmeal bread, and give it just a light toast. And then I heap on the peanut butter, because there's your protein. It's so good for you. And especially in the morning for my kids, I just really like for them to have a little bite of protein. I mean, in some fashion. Sometimes it's like a cheese stick. I mean, just to get them out the door so there's a little something. But I love good peanut butter. And then I love to make it pretty. So I take my little spurtle here and go back and forth and make a pretty swirl. So, peanut butter. That's a great starter. Then I like to do a drizzle of honey right over my peanut butter. Not a lot. We don't want it to just be soaked. So back and forth, and to kind of balance all that sweet. I love a little pinch of sea salt. If you've got flaky kosher salt, use that. It's really, really good. And then look how easy this is. Fruit. So we just like to lay blueberries and strawberries and raspberries. I had blueberries and raspberries because we munch on them a lot. And I just lay those all over the top. Isn't that easy? You know what this is? It is a fancy, whole, healthy peanut butter and jelly. Think about it. We've got our peanut butter. We've got our sweet from that honey. And then, in place of jelly, we have really great fresh fruit. Look at that. Isn't that delicious? Healthy, quick and easy. You could either, if you didn't have time to like eat it at the island and you needed to make that really quick and run out the door, you could go a little bit smaller on your fruit and fold it in half, just like a halved sandwich. Or put another piece of bread on top with peanut butter on it and eat it in the car on the way. So quick, so easy. That one is delicious. Now let's do a savory one. We've got my same oat toast. And I've got a ripe avocado, and I love a few shakes of lemon pepper in my avocado. Oh, it smells good. Again, a good big heaping base of protein for the day. So I'm gonna just load down my toast with my avocado. So good. And then, this one's really fun. We're gonna do a little fried egg on top. Now, we have made fried eggs on this show before, right? We made a, what did we make? It was another one of Isaac's very favorites. A little Mexican breakfast. Anyway, we've made fried eggs on here several times before. I don't remember, but I mean, my goodness, we love eggs around here. And I showed you how to make that fried egg, that time with the lid on the top, where the steam inside of the lid kind of cooks the inside. You know what I mean? Oh, it's huevos rancheros. It was huevos rancheros. Remember that? It had black beans and good Mexican food and avocado. That one takes a lot more elbow grease to make, but we do love that one for breakfast too. That's even great for dinner. But on that one, I showed you how to crack your egg in your skillet, put your lid on the top and allow that steam to continue to cook your egg through. Today, we're gonna do a basting method instead of doing it with the lid or instead of doing it over easy. You know, an over easy egg is where you cook it on one side and then flip on the other side and cook on the other as well. You still want that to have a little bit of a runny yolk. But how many times have we broken the yolk? I've done it so many times and it's so frustrating. This is so easy and this makes for the most tender egg, tender, and buttery and delicious. So let me tell you how we're doing it. In my skillet, and I've got a good egg skillet. We've talked about that before too. Have a really good nonstick skillet. I just have a little bit of coconut oil, a little bit of butter in the bottom, and we crack our egg in there on low heat. I've got it on, about low heat. And then as it cooks, we have liquid, the butter and the oil that's melted in there, and all we do is tip that skillet and slowly but surely, a spoonful at a time, just baste that egg until it's cooked, up and over the yolk, up and over the whites, and it will be perfect every time. It's wonderful. When we come back, we're gonna slide this egg off on that avocado toast and eat our muffins. This is Cooking Today.
Candy, sponsored by Mars.
Hi, welcome back. We are wrapping up my favorite breakfast meals that we love to have around here. One are these beautiful, loaded, healthy apple cinnamon walnut muffins that we have baked, and they smell fantastic. And let me tell you this is great. This recipe makes about 20. If you wanted to double it, you're gonna need a bowl big enough to probably bathe the baby in because it makes a big old batter. But if you wanted to double it and freeze them, then you certainly could. How you would wanna do that is let these cool completely at room temperature first, then stick them just like this, uncovered in the freezer for about an hour. Then pull them out frozen and then put them in 2 freezer bags. You know, you would want like 1 bag and then another bag to kind of prevent freezer burn. And that's it. Then you could just move them into your fridge the night before you want to eat them. You can eat them cooled, or you can even stick them in the microwave for a minute. They will eat forever. You can have them in your freezer for like 3 months. Makes such a good breakfast. Then we have our beautiful fruit and peanut butter toast with a little salt and honey. We have our avocado toast. I have basted my egg, and in this skillet in the bottom is a little bit of butter and coconut oil, and coconut oil is so good for you. And all we're gonna do is slide our egg right off with a little bit of that liquid from the pan, and it goes on that toast and on that avocado, y'all. And then I top it with a little salt, a little bit of pepper, and a few shakes of red pepper flakes. And that's it. Aren't those easy breakfasts? This is just, here we are off to a good school year and a good fall. And we've got a great, easy, healthy way to kick off our mornings. I hope you'll try these recipes at home and love every bite. This is Cooking Today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company. Kitchenware is provided by Una Mays. Groceries provided by Harps, Hometown Fresh. Online Elements sponsored by Fayetteville Farmers Market.